Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with more of The Expanse. This is Season 2, Episode 7. Oh man, last episode we learned about Solomon Epstein and his Epstein drive and how he died figuring it out. And yeah, that was a really sad story, but then we had the Earthers saying that the proto-molecule could be a similar jump in technology as the Epstein drive, which that's intense, and they're going to try and recover it, which, bad idea. But then we also have Fred Johnson, who has the 30 nukes, and he's going to try and gain power within the system using those. It'll be interesting to see how successful he is doing that. And then everything on Ganymede just goes to shit. Bobby's team sees a bunch of UNN soldiers running towards their side of the border, and they seem like they're running from something, though. They were firing back on it, and it was probably that alien-looking thing at the end. That was hovering over Bobby. If that really is an alien, if aliens have entered the system, that changes the feel of the show completely. And I'm not convinced yet completely that it's an alien, though. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm excited to watch more. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. We'll also be 1 week ahead of there as well. But yeah, let's get started. Red snow blood.
This was an escalation. We need to choose an appropriate Martian target in response. Christian?
We invite Mars to a peace summit.
A peace summit? And what? Foot massages too?
Trust me, Mars wants this worse than we do.
You'll never sell it to the Security Council.
You will sell it because you saved Earth from Eris.
We all know who really did that.
And whom do I serve?
Why didn't you ever run for office?
I like getting shit done, and I like to keep my head attached to my neck.
Your father was smart. You're smarter.
So she wasn't elected? She was appointed? Interesting.
We got a little bit of food, a little bit of water on the menu, and a little bit of magic. You guys know what magic is?
Oh, Alex. This remind you of anybody?
Now he's practically running series.
About time the Belter was.
I mean, yeah, but like, why couldn't it have been you?
I said one each. Back off.
Leave my mother alone! You leave her alone!
Did you just get a wake-up call? He's looking at his friends, seeing them be like kind. Are you a monster? Does he think of himself as a monster?
Can we get you anything?
The porterhouse. For the kids too. Except at least she's a vegan.
Gunny, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but no one from your team made it. You reported shots fired along the UN line.
6 blues. No, wait, it was a 7th. Lieutenant Sutton, he would have picked up on it. He was on.
Lieutenant Sutton was killed with 11 others on this run.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe this should wait.
They changed your brain with that procedure. When did you decide to make it permanent?
That first day, within 5 minutes, I knew I'd never go back. No.
Is he contemplating doing that?
If you're interested.
I didn't say that.
That's not a denial.
I think I scared his mother. I didn't mean to. It made me remember when I was that boy.
I loved my mother too. It was the residue of guilt, shame, need. Love kept me at her bedside until she died. Nearly caused me to miss out on the greatest work humanity has ever undertaken.
This is what you want, Amos?
The belt needs a born belter to be its voice. Anderson Dawes should represent us.
I just imagine the look on the inners' faces when they see who is sitting across the table from them. Earth and Mars at peace. And the belt, equal partners in that peace. But is it too much an Earther's dream?
Probably should have talk this
But
over
as
first
much
with
as
him.
I fear war between
God.
Earth and Mars, I fear the peace more. They see us as their possessions. Animals. Test their new weapons on. And make no mistake, they will do it again.
And I think Fred is right. The threat has been eliminated. And those missiles you have.
Is she backing away?
Earth and Mars have pointed those damn things at each other for over 100 years. So let's give them back.
Yes.
Returning them will show that the belt is ready to lead the peace.
James Holden. Huh? Bratna.
Philotas, no, we divide them amongst the factions.
Ooh, that is a horrible idea. No.
Keeping the missiles is an act of war. Using them gets us the same result. That is why they are both right.
Is he gonna try to gain power over the protomolecule as well?
Do you know what Anderson Dawes saw in there?
An Earther.
You and Fred Johnson.
Siding with an
Big-nosed
Earther.
Earthers telling Belters how they should run the belt.
I'm on this goddamn thing together, and everyone keeps telling me to pick a side.
Oh, we haven't seen this in a while. Since Lopez.
Stephen Blues were charging at us.
So 7 UN Marines started charging and shooting at you.
What's weird is that there was only
Not what
7 of them.
she said. He's trying to...
7 blues in a line coming hard at you.
He's trying to manipulate the story.
So 7 UN Marines were charging you.
It didn't make sense.
Sounds like you're saying Earth initiated the attack.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you were saying. He's...
7 UN Marines.
Yeah, they were charging at us.
He's
They were
putting
firing
words
at
into
us.
her mouth.
They jammed our comms. I saw ships engaging in orbit. The Blues, they were closing in on us fast. Fucking Earthers attacked us. They want a war. We'll give them a goddamn war.
It's not what you saw.
Eros and back. You came away with nothing that could help the belt defend itself.
You want to paint me as one of the bad guys because I'm an Earther? Have a great time.
Good and bad, don't get distracted by that. It will just confuse you. Good men do bad things, like Fred Johnson. And
But he
bad
didn't.
men do things believing it's for the good of all mankind.
Enough. We're really busy.
We're really busy.
All right.
That's like the standard breakup line. I'm just like really busy right now.
I believe you. Remind me of someone. Just missing the
Miller.
hat, that's all.
You need to be resting. No. That's... Ooh. What was I just saying?
You know we can get you a new suit.
Fuck off.
Sorry, sir. No disrespect intended.
Please.
We've come a long way since the loading docks on Ceres, eh, Molly?
You don't get to call me that anymore, Pampa.
From what people tell me, you're the one really running things around here.
Constipated, you suck a stone to get things moving. If you see the problem, you shove that rock up your ass.
Come on. If we're going to reminisce, let's at least get a drink, huh? We will toast to Fred Johnson's secret weapon.
Ooh. Trying to get information out of her. Oh, this is supposed to jog her memory?
The UN Marines, they weren't firing at us. They were shooting behind them, at him.
What even happened? They just all got taken out.
I'm so sorry.
Sergeant!
That's when I saw the drone. The Stevens man, he wasn't wearing a vac suit.
That's enough.
Do they think she imagined it?
He says it's talking to him.
What does that mean?
I love Holden's face when he's like
He says
surprised.
there's more proto-molecule out there.
I better keep my eye on you. Soon your legend will be better than mine.
Manipulating.
Fred Johnson just want people. Scientists.
What for? Did you paint, sir?
Oh, that's their secret weapon. They're trying to use Kodazar to find the proto-molecule.
In recognition of your extraordinary service to Mars, MCRN Command has awarded you the Purple Heart.
Whoa.
Your first-hand account of what happened will lay the groundwork for what's to come. You'll tell them your story. In the confusion of a communications blackout, your team fired first.
Sir?
What?
Did you say we shot first, but they definitely fired first?
Sergeant, this is bigger than you.
I know I'm not wrong about that.
Well, truth is a tricky thing, especially when...
They stormed our line. That thing was driving them
I
forward.
don't want to hear any more talk about a thing. Are we clear?
They weren't able to get the story they wanted out of her, so they're gonna force her to...
Oh, so you're gonna tell me a fucking story now to sell me on this bullshit? My apologies, sir.
You're going to Earth.
Jeez. What's he doing? Dawes did just find out from Diogo that they're gonna try to use Kodazar. They got him already? Oh, crap.
Dawes has Kodazar. He's running.
What?
Dust off now.
Copy that. Let's roll.
Is Amos with you?
I don't know where he is. Get your ass down here.
We'll lose him if you wait. Just go. Go!
Jeez.
They cut their drive.
Shit. Standard evasive maneuvers. They're gonna alter course on the thrusters and then kick the drive back in.
If they insist on running, do you fire on them?
Got him.
Hang on.
It's a similar situation with the Marasmus, right?
PDCs.
We cannot shoot him down.
Not down. Out.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Gotcha.
He's... Wow.
Force the airlock. If it comes down to it, I go low, you go high. Open our door on my mark. Ready?
Wow. Alex seems like he's in charge. Diogo?
You got me. Just me.
Just?
Come on, you little shit.
Got nothing.
What? Oh.
He's got Quasar.
Damn. Alright, so... Not too many answers about what exactly is going on, what happened on Ganymede, but Gunny is pulled from the wreckage. Those Martians were definitely trying to push her towards a particular story they wanted to tell, I feel like. Gunny only said that like 7 were charging them, but then the guy said the Earthers charged them and opened fire on them, and then he just repeated, like, once he implanted that in her head, he just like repeated it over and over again, like he was trying to goad her into a particular answer, and then he got out of her that, yeah, they charged us, they fired on us first, which, I mean, that's what she wanted to say in the first place, deep down, because she wanted war with Earth. I think in that moment she definitely believed it, just because memory is like super malleable, and they were doing what they could to get a particular story out of her. But then for some reason they decided to like try to get her to remember more. Maybe they realized that, yeah, maybe there's something more to this story, but they definitely didn't want it getting out. And they realize her truth doesn't fit with the story they're trying to tell, so they pin a freaking purple heart on her, making her a Martian war hero, and they're trying to keep her like in check, and then at the same time they're sending her to Earth to testify at the Peace Summit, meaning she'll testify in front of Christian, Ehrenreich, and the UN Security General. Not Secretary General. Not sure what, not what I was expecting for her character. I don't know what's going through her head in this moment. Does she tell the truth about the alien thing she saw? Was it an alien, or did it belong to Jules Pierre Mao, since he was maybe trying to drum up some distraction again? Does she tell Mars's lies and say that they fired first? Would that get her locked up as a prisoner of war, given that she's in Earth territory? Or does she try to start a war behind enemy lines? Like, if someone who's sent to maintain peace opens fire, I guess she wouldn't be sent with any weapons, but like still, she's a pretty good soldier. I bet she could do some damage without weapons. If her attacking at a peace summit, like that would definitely start a war, I feel like. But then there's also that drone that she mentioned a couple times, feels important. I'll remember that for sure. And speaking of Christian, I'll admit I wasn't paying attention to what position Christian actually held, but I assumed she was elected to office, but apparently she was appointed. She says she didn't run for office because she liked getting stuff done and likes her head on her shoulders. Lots to think about when you consider like the current political landscape in the United States. Like Mitch McConnell being the worst offender, like taking money to keep policies that would keep the American people like off the table. And yeah, like almost all of the Republicans and most of the Democrats do it too. We've got like a few people who refuse corporate PAC money, so that they're only beholden to their constituents and not to big companies. But that's like so few of them, and it's honestly like tragic. But yeah, very ineffectual the vast majority of the time. Sad that in this fictional version of like 300 years in the future, it doesn't seem to have changed, where she's just like, yeah, I want to actually get stuff done. Whereas, yeah, politics, people don't get stuff done. Unless, that's not true. People get stuff done when it's in the interest of corporations and the rich. Hence the $1 trillion tax cut for the rich when the poverty is at an all-time high. Yeah, it's messed up. But yeah, the crew of the Rocinante helping out. There's good Samaritans all around. Alex again with the magic, trying to cheer up kids, which is just his thing. I actually want to see him be successful in doing some magic tricks now. Amos realizing that he can come off as a bit of a monster at the very least, and he's a bit of a brute. I don't know if he's a monster. And I talked about this last episode. Like, he thinks there are only 3 types of people, like people you follow, people you protect, and bad people. And he doesn't think of himself as someone who falls into the first 2 categories. And then he talks to Cortazar about like wanting to, like, just questioning about like shutting his brain off. Like, at least he learned that there's a temporary way to do it. But he also heard Cortazar say that once he had it done to him temporarily, he wanted it done like forever. So I don't know if he's willing to let go of his humanity just yet. Even if he thinks it'll make him a better protector, I don't know if he'll do that. Yeah, like the guy who has his conscience deleted, like, this is the person you go to talk things out. It's not. Hopefully he does it. It just stops there. Cortazar is taken away for one, so maybe he doesn't even have the chance to do it anymore. Amos mentions losing his mother at a very young age, and then he was taken care of by Lydia. And I feel like the show isn't dropping like these details like haphazardly. Like with the drone, I feel like that's going somewhere. I knew the bird that Miller saw floating outside Julie's window was going to be important at some point, and it was part of such like a wonderful imagery in 2-5 or 2X5 when the bird leads him to Julie Mao. And I'm still on the lookout for the person Naomi wanted to say goodbye to. Theorized that it was her daughter. I believe I theorized that like episode 4 of season 1. Also want to see if Alex's jumpiness goes anywhere from last season. And now I'll be on the lookout for Lydia. But yeah, we also see Anderson Dawes throwing out supplies to people who have suffered a tragedy. I don't know how many people are aware of what I was referencing when I said that, like, does that remind you of anybody? So yeah, Trump did the same thing when he was visiting hurricane victims in Puerto Rico, like throwing out paper towels into the crowd like they're basketballs. I actually went back and looked it up because I didn't know when this episode aired. Like, was this based on Trump, like, being just so disrespectful? Turns out this was first. So fiction, normally, what do they say? Like, fiction is strange, like real life is stranger than fiction, or something like that. I don't know what the actual saying is, but yeah, like, that's a really shitty thing to do. And then to see, it'd be really funny if Trump saw Anderson Dawes do this because he watches this show, and then was just like, ooh, that seems like a good idea. He's such a nice guy. I'm gonna do it too. Like, I wouldn't put it past him, honestly. But yeah, it turns out Expanse was first. But yeah, such a shitty thing to do. like to make the needs of suffering people into a game, to showboat that he's like giving people like basic necessities. I mean, I still prefer Dawes over Trump because like even though he's looking out for himself, he does do things in the interest of the people on the belt too. Whereas Trump, I don't know that he's done. I won't say he's done nothing for anybody, but I feel like that's super far, and like he's helped himself and his rich friends way more than he's helped anybody else. And I feel like, yeah, I think this isn't the first time I've compared the two actually in this show. But yes, Dawes is still like miles better than Trump in my eyes. But yeah, most of the people in the belt seem to love him though, and he tries to appeal to like Drummer and Naomi. Naomi seems like kind of short-sighted about Dawes. I mean, her point that like finally a belter is running Ceres is like well taken. The belter should be in charge of the belt, but outright ignoring the fact that Dawes got to that point by making himself super important, and like enriching himself. And like it's what led to him leaving Julie Mao, which I'm not sure if the crew of the Rocinante actually knew about that. I would have so preferred. I mean, Naomi doesn't have any power in the OPA, but I feel like she would be a good leader. I feel like Drummer would be a great leader. If you don't want an Earther ruling the belt like Fred Johnson, at least Drummer, she's been his second in command, and what's his face? Dawes even said that she's might be the one like really running things. Yeah, I would love to see her in charge at some point, but it's gonna be Dawes, and it's gonna be bad. He also goes after Diogo, which, if Diogo knew about Dawes' relationship with Miller, I don't think that would have happened. Trying to have him killed. But yeah, Fred Johnson must have felt like he had to turn over OPA leadership to Dawes, but it seemed like he didn't even like try to have a discussion with him before doing it. And I mean, Fred must have known what Dawes is all about. I don't know. But yeah, he digs around trying to get like the secret information on what Fred Johnson's like plan is, and he figures out that it's to get Cortazar and to use Cortazar to find out about the protomolecule. And yeah, that was a really... Holden comes upon like the holding cell, the Holden cell, the Holden cell. That's a really bad pun. And he finds that Cortazar has already been taken, and yeah, Dawes is no slouch. He freaking set up the whole thing so that the Rocinante chased after Diogo instead of him, and I don't know where exactly he is. I'm guessing it's possible that there's like a second ship that he might have taken. Maybe there's like a main ship and like the ship that they were chasing, and then when they went dark, maybe they sent a shuttle off in a different like opposite direction, because they would sense the bigger ship first, I'm guessing, and then that would distract them from like the small ship going off in a different direction. I don't know if they have shuttles. I don't know if we've seen like shuttle ships that dock on bigger ships so far in the series, but I imagine that's a thing. And yeah, either that or they're somehow still on Tycho, which doesn't seem like a great idea. So I feel like that's probably what happened. Yeah, we'll find out though. Overall, enjoyed this episode. Anderson Dawes, as much as I dislike him, he's such a fascinating character. Love the way he says animals, which is great. That one guy who wanted to split the nukes up by faction, that is possibly the worst idea I've heard in this entire show. Even almost worse, I would argue almost as bad as let's go find the protomolecule after it crashed into Venus. Seems like a perfect idea, right? I'm going to give this episode an 8. Things are really ramping up again. And is this episode 7 of the season? Yeah, it was episode 7 of the season. So we've got another 6 left. It feels like there's going to be another climax at that point, which I don't know. That's going to be crazy, right? Very curious to see how the Peace Summit will go. I don't know if that's going to show right away next episode. I don't know how long it takes for them to get from Mars to Earth at this point in time. But yeah. if frickin' Dawes gets his hand on the proto-molecule, he'd be willing to wipe out the Earth and Mars for sure. But yeah. That's going to be it for this episode. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Be sure to leave a like. Really helps this channel out a lot. But yeah, can't wait to find out what happens next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.